Hey, welcome into the channel. Thank you for tuning in always. My name is Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we're going to be looking at your energy for today. So let's get into it. We are finishing out, well, when I'm recording this in real time, I should say, we are finishing out the month of August. Mercury finally went direct, so we got that under our belt, and we are just trying to deal with the things that are shifting and changing, trying to get a little bit more acclimated around those energies. And I'm hearing that we need to be a little bit more compassionate towards ourselves, compassionate towards others right now, and find solutions, being solution oriented. Air element is the dominant energy in today's astrology, and that really gives us the ability to think our way through things, right? The rational pros and cons list, taking out emotion, taking out a feeling, and that's how we have to approach things that are maybe a little more emotionally triggered. Easier said than done, 100%, because the ego is getting in the way, as it always does, right? Both the moon and Mercury are in Leo, which is very much attached to our ego, our need to be seen and validated for our position, perspective, opinion, excuse me. That came out very weird. So just be mindful in your interactions today. We'll start off with this energy cleansing. Set the tone, set the vibe, clear out any unwanted energies we don't want. Just remember, these are collective readings. Take what fits, leave the rest behind. Use your own wisdom and discernment. I also do readings, tarot, astrology, energy healings, wellness consultations, little mind, body, soul healing. If you want something that's more specific or individualized to you, check out the description box that has all the info on how to get in touch with me, and we'll go from there. All right, so let's get into our blessing. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not serving our highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, overwhelm. Help us to see, sense, and understand the bigger picture. Help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels, Mama Love. Okay, yeah, so there is, like I said, there is a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction today to be a little egoic. So making sure that our language is not too harsh. Fire energy has a tendency to be pretty blunt and not really caring whose feelings it hurts. I'm not saying that's you specifically, but we all have all the energies within us, right? So there are parts of our being that can get really fiery, that can get really pumped up, etc. And we have to be aware of how we handle those dynamics, especially around things that are asking or requiring a little more balance in our life. We're moving through Virgo season, which really gives us an opportunity to balance our emotional, mental, spiritual well-being. It's all about our health and wellness, how we take care of ourselves, and then how we can show up in our day-to-day living. And there is a little difficulty right now because the moon has been heavily aspected, where we're being triggered, where we don't want things to look a certain way, or we don't want to be a certain way, or we don't want to give the person the benefit of the doubt. we feel so wronged, etc. Some of this is about flipping the script, flipping the perspective. Yeah, having more compassion and awareness around those in your environment, right? Double confirmation on that message earlier. But also, like, those things start within ourselves first, right? If we're not giving ourselves compassion, if we're not speaking kindly to ourselves, validating our own self, then we can't really expect that in our environment as well, right? We saw that energy pop up yesterday, that value of like attracts like. What are you magnetizing towards you? And the more we can give others compassion, or the more we can give ourselves compassion, the more we can give others compassion as well. It does require a little tenderness and vulnerability. But here's the thing. So I'm recording this on Saturday. It's the day of Saturn. Saturn forces us to do the work, to heal, overcome the karma. And when we do that, it does humanize us, right? There is this element of vulnerability that we have to be able to connect with, but it also allows us to continue forward in a more beautiful and authentic way. I really love this energy for you today because it's talking about how through your curiosity, through your approach, you're uncovering these layers of strength and fortitude, cultivating something that is really powerful and strong. Yeah, okay, right. So double confirmation on that magnet energy. It's our overarching energy today. So really embodying, I think it was our overarching yesterday. I'm not 100% certain on that, but irregardless, it's just that reminder, it's that confirmation that, in order to understand a little more clearly, we have to have this sense of curiosity, this sense of wonder around what is going on in our environment, who is what. And that is why Spirit's asking us to let down the defenses a little bit today. It's going to help understand, see things clearer, right? When we can be vulnerable, it allows others to be vulnerable as well. Being willing to have those discussions. And that doesn't mean that you have to let someone walk all over you at all, because it feels messy, right? So this purity is being blocked, this level of innocence, this, interestingly enough, connected to this wonderment. Because ego's at play. And really, you're embodying this Empress energy. And I'm hearing this as it has that leader type vibes, right? Stepping into your power, not being afraid to lead. Understanding that because you validated yourself, your cup is full, right? You don't need someone. If they do it, that's great, but you don't need someone to. And it is stepping into that role of leadership, even if you're getting the short end of the stick. King of Wands, sorry, I couldn't help but show it because this guy has been coming out on the regular, right? So, and, I feel like it's helping, okay, also having this level of confidence is really helping you see things clearly. But again, it's coming from, I don't know, maybe I feel this is like you judging yourself. This is you being very, very harsh on yourself. Having this super high level of expectation about what you should have been, how you should have shown up, when really just understanding sometimes you can't avoid people's opinions, what they think, etc. We have Hermit Virgo energy, okay? So someone's thinking a lot about you. Someone is weighing out the pros and the cons. Here we see that Son of Pentacles. He popped up for us yesterday as well. They're moving slowly. They want to connect with you because they still are moving towards you. I feel like they're working up the courage. I feel like there is a level of defeat coming from them. You personally, you don't have to do it all alone. You don't have to struggle so hard. And that's what Spirit's trying to say. Maybe you've been through a time where it has been really hard to rely on others, to partner up, to collaborate. But you know, honestly, with the astrology, that's the blessing right now. South Node, Black Moon, Lilith, and Venus are all in Virgo, and if I'm not mistaken, yeah, they're all in conjunction. So all on top of each other, just like amplifying these energies. And essentially what that's doing is it's bringing out a lot of what has been hidden, the things that we haven't seen about people, about relationships, how they really are showing up for us, whether they really are on our team, on our side or not. And I'm saying this also because it makes it very hard in those moments to trust people, to trust situations. But it also goes back to trusting in yourself is what I'm hearing first and foremost, right? Because when we're not trusting in ourselves, then it's easier to make decisions that are not in alignment with us. We have more of this knee-jerk reaction to choose things out of our ego. Well, it kind of looks right, surface, topical value. But then when you get into it, that's so crazy. Yeah. Then when you actually get into the nitty-gritty, it's not what it seems at all. And I feel like you've had a lot of these types of people come across your path. They could even be intimate relationships, people that you were extremely vulnerable with, people that you did trust, that you did put all your eggs in one basket, so to speak, willing to build and grow over time, not needing it to look like a certain thing, but then having someone take advantage of that, take it for granted, not being able to appreciate who you were, and also putting you in this position to handle everything all by yourself. So that sucks. And really what comes out of that is you stepping into your power. When you have to do all the work, well, you become like a pretty badass version of yourself, right? Because you were willing to explore, you were willing to not let the stress limit you, to keep pushing forward, to keep moving forward. But again, there is still a lot of shame that you're carrying around today. So be mindful of that. Let's look at this Hermit, Son of Pentacles energy for you. Yeah, so just be mindful not to be too hard on yourself. The moon is in opposition and contra-parallel to Pluto. So our emotions, how we're feeling about things, especially those places that we are ashamed or are embarrassed, it's actually kind of blocking or resisting some of the change, we all do shit, right? Like, we have to remember that sometimes we hit the target, sometimes we don't. It doesn't mean it's good, bad, right, or wrong. Obviously take this in context. Everyone's situation is going to be different. We don't want to give hall passes where they're not appropriate, right? Because the whole name of the game right now is finding other options, finding other ways to do things. It is challenging because there is this level of heartbreak that is clouding everything. And again, that hits on those emotions that I was talking about with Pluto, because we wish it was different, right? Like, we wish it worked out different. I think this is a really interesting thing to evaluate through that lens of perspective, or everything happens for a reason, right? Like, maybe it's just meant to go this way. It had to, uncover the way that you attract, right? How you're showing up for yourself, what you believe that you can have. And, really kind of moving into that space of connecting with like-minded people that are a little bit more grounded and stable in their lives, that don't necessarily need to lie and manipulate and deceive in order to get what they want. We still have some lingering past energies. We've been seeing this as well. So that push and pull. Venus is very tensely aspected right now to Mars, to Neptune, to the North Node. And her energies are being magnified by Black Moon Lilith and that vertex point. So it's just so much, again, it goes back to what I was saying in the very beginning. We have to be more solution oriented. We have to use that air intellect thinking processes in order to find a little bit more balance, because the grief, the pain, the sadness, it's overclouding, right? It's clouding our judgment, and it's putting us in a position where if left unchecked, it could become toxic. Maybe you have been spending too much time indoors, or vice versa. Maybe you need to put your butt down a little bit, just chill for a little bit and find a little bit more grounding and stability and compassion for yourself. I'm hearing some of this is about releasing the emotional trauma from your being. I feel like a really good way to do that is to spend time in quiet prayer, meditation, just journaling maybe. I like it. In an ideal world, it's not a very active practice because we want it to actually completely release. Yes, journaling does bring a lot of release, but then maybe spend some time in quiet after, doing some breath work. Also a really good way to bring in more prana, more life force, to push out those blocked, those clogged energies. Because I'm saying all this because it is clouding our judgment, right? It is kind of making us feel a little soft, remorseful, regretful towards the past, maybe putting ourselves in positions where it's either overwhelming us, it's blocking other opportunities, we're not giving opportunities maybe the credit or the time that they deserve. Maybe we're not pushing ourselves, again, taking time to grieve, but then making sure that you're pushing forward, turning on the timer if you need to, right? Cry it out 10, 15 minutes and then keep moving forward. Because it has to release. It has to release in order to open up from the new, being more rational in your approach. Mother of Swords energy, Libra energy, so diplomatic, right? Again, not having these incredibly high expectations for yourself around the shoulda, woulda, coulda today. Things are going to be coming up, right? Things are going to be coming up to the surface that we have to look at, that we have to remember, that are a little painful and uncomfortable, right? Ooh, too many, but well, okay. Well, okay. Actually, I'm going to take them all. Yeah. I can. Well, so the cards I got are Divine Feminine, Gratitude, very nice, and Good Fortune. I love it. Okay. So really, this is that practice of softening that we've been talking about. And Venus is having a really hard time doing it today because, Venus energy wants things to be nice, right? Nice and happy and soft and lovey. But sometimes we do need to just see it for what it is, right? Being honest, being realistic, and also having gratitude is actually what allows us to release and let go. This always reminds me of tears in some way, but I'm hearing it as that release, right? So that you can open up to receive the good fortune. We have been seeing this Ace of Cups pop up a lot for us as well. New blessings coming in. I feel like we are, a lot of this stuff from the past, a lot of this stuff that was sneaky, that lied, that kind of showed up in a low vibey way, we're letting go of, so that we can obviously receive and be in a better position to do so, is what I'm hearing, because some of this sneaky behavior has infiltrated our perception, our thought process, how we look at people, relationships, and part of that's good. That layer of self-protection is important, but you also need to learn how to trust yourself, trust what you sense and feel, and not making something what it's not just because of someone else's bad behavior. So, that being said, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for your time and energy always. I really hope that you found messages that resonated. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I always love to hear, or I love to connect, share in a little love and blessing always. Thank you for what you bring to the channel. I am sending it back your way.